company. The Juice Plus company is 50 years old this year. Started by a man we all know and love very much, Jay Martin, who is a very young man, started this company, and he has been the steward and the one running it all these years. And his whole philosophy being that if the people who are partnered with him taking this mission to the field, do well, then we'll all do well together. And that has certainly played out very well over these years as our business continues to grow and grow and grow worldwide. And, of course, that's all based in a wonderful product that we have. We, as a company, have brought many things over the years and the 50 years to the marketplace that have been extremely valuable. Our company was really founded with a product that I'm sure you're all familiar with today. We were the company that introduced smoke detectors to the home 50 years ago. Obviously, that was extremely successful and laid the foundation for great success to follow. We diversified over the years going into the field of environment in the early 80s with water filtration and air filtration, and 28 years ago entered the field of health technology with Juice Plus and the Juice Plus family of products. And what a find that has been, not only for our own health and well-being, but for the health and well-being of those that we love and those that we come across every day as we share this mission together. So we've been very fortunate, not only as a company, but as a team, everyone in this organization that participates together. We've really had the joy of not only enjoying and working together, but doing really well in sharing our Juice Plus products with others. And, of course, it, as I said, was just the find of both last century and this century because it's been so good for people. And we've also been very blessed that as we do this call every week, and we have never missed a Monday night in 30 years, we have wonderful people who come and share their expertise and their knowledge and their information, which certainly creates inspiration for everyone. And Rosalyn Baker Ingram, who is our speaker tonight, is certainly a favorite. And we're very blessed to have her with us tonight. Rosalyn Baker has a master's in social work, is a licensed marriage and family therapist, a master addiction counselor, and a certified nutritional consultant. She is also a neurotherapist where she retrains brain waves with computer software for many conditions, like just a variety of conditions like depression, anxiety, ADD. Her wellness practice utilizes complementary therapies integrated with conventional medicine to provide a personalized care experience. She believes that plant nutrition is an essential foundation upon which we generate and maintain great health. She's lectured throughout the U.S. on the topic of brain health and nutrition, and she reinforces that you really, having a healthy brain, you can't have a healthy brain and body without healthy lifestyle choices. So tonight she's going to talk to you about lifestyle choices and brain health, and that would be from infancy throughout your life, and it really, plants matter. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Rosalyn, and let you share with people what I know is such powerful information.
Well, thanks, Cheryl. It's always such an honor and a privilege to be asked to be on this call. So, and it's so much fun to hear so many people that I know personally get on the call with guests, and so thank you all. Every one of us on this call knows that in order for us to take ownership of our own health and wellness and that of our family and of those we care about, we must be informed. Everyone on this call believes knowledge is power, or you wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be here if we didn't believe that we need to know answers for ourselves, because we can just not rely on healthcare professionals to do the work for us. Healthcare is slowly moving toward recognizing that we must focus on the core of what causes symptoms and diagnoses, and we have to lessen our reliance on prescriptions. I was dumbfounded in doing a little research for this call. It is estimated that in the U.S. in 2019, 4.38 billion retail prescriptions were filled. And if you just think about that, think if in the U.S. we ate 4.38 billion servings of plants each year. We should, but of course we don't come anywhere close to that. In fact, on average, Americans are eating fruit 1 time per day and vegetables 1.7 times per day. So 90% are not eating nearly enough. And even more sad is the fact that 9% of youth and only 2% of high school students meet the minimum requirement. So most of us know that the serving size has increased over time due to depleted soils and the nutrients just not being available. In your average head of broccoli, you have to eat 2 or 3 times that amount of broccoli to get the minerals and the vitamins. So it's now suggested by most dietary guidelines that we eat an average of 10 servings of fruits and vegetables daily to stay healthy. Educating individuals on the benefits of a diet rich in fruits and vegetables is what we do best in our Juice Plus community. And it's not daunting, honestly, because we have some of the most available, beneficial, affordable, educational programs and products on the market. In fact, most of our educational materials are free, like this call. Our Shred 10 detox and healthy eating lifestyle handouts and Facebook support groups, have inspired and educated thousands of people month after month. And everybody I know who has participated has told me they just become rich in knowledge and lifestyle experiences from going through the programming, the Facebook groups, and doing a Shred 10. So after all it's been said, what isn't there to get, the fruits or the vegetables? And the more we learn about it, the more we understand that it really is about getting fruits and vegetables. So Juice Plus offers frontline access to high-quality, safe, affordable plants that have been research proven to help protect against a number of serious and costly chronic diseases. So one of the areas that the government and local officials have struggled with is how to get high-quality fruits and vegetable consumption into children. I think we're all in agreement that the Juice Plus company has mastered that by offering, free plant powders in capsule or chewable form to children ages 4 through college. And that goes hand in hand with the CDC's proposal that we improve fruit and vegetable access to individuals and families. And in fact, they recommend increasing the number of farm markets, which I thought was quite interesting since having access to a farm market is not very easy. And they also recommended to schools and mandated that children in certain states take a piece of fruit at school lunches. I have a friend who works at one of our corporate food suppliers, and he said much of that fruit ended up in the garbage can. They really, those just really aren't adequate answers for how to get nutrition into children and families. We know from our original children's health study, the Healthy Family Starts program, that when children begin consuming plants on a regular basis, they start desiring more of those foods. And this is what they were trying to obtain and do in the schools by offering the pieces of fruit or mandating that these children take pieces of fruit. They were hoping that they could get them accustomed to eating it so that they would start to desire to eat more on their own. But it takes more than a half-eaten apple to assist in that change. More likely it takes 20 different plants consumed consistently day after day to make a difference in a child's food choice. But on a positive note, in 2018, 47 states adopted a policy, and that supports farm-to-school food services by increasing student access to locally grown foods, including gardening or other educational activities related to nutrition and agriculture. And I don't know, but this might be why we saw an increase in our Juice Plus Tower Gardens in the schools, and we've seen a growing number of teachers using the available lesson plans to help educate those students. I was thinking about, with all of our restrictions and staying home and all of the parents looking for homeschooling type activities, if you don't own a tower garden, it's a wonderful option to get one. But those who have tower gardens, if you go online and you Google Juice Plus Tower Garden lesson plans, you will find them in, page after page. And what a wonderful opportunity to work with your children over the summer or year-round, since you can grow food in the Tower Garden home year-round, to use that lesson plan in your own home. What fun! And I just thought, what a great idea to make that an more in-depth educational experience. As our dear friend and global teacher winner Stephen Ritz has said, the Tower Garden is the most cost-effective school garden aligned to positive academic outcomes that he's ever encountered. And Stephen has been a huge part of inspiring thousands of schools across the country to take up tower gardening. And if you haven't watched the YouTube of Stephen Ritz, you definitely want to do it. He spells it R-I-T-Z. And once you've seen him, you will recognize him forevermore because he's just an outstanding personality. But many of us on this call have been delighted by him on stage at our Juice Plus conferences, which I know every one of us misses and can't wait till we can gather the 7,000 of us together again, because we're always happy, we're always smiling, we're friendly, and we are a notably healthy group of conference goers, if you ask me. I am always taken by how those characteristics are just so pronounced in all of us. Also, if people want to look online under USDA Farm to School grants, you can learn more about being able to fund programs in schools, or just Google Juice Plus Tower Garden School grants, and you'll be amazed at the information that exists about that. 20 years ago, after I had started training brainwaves as a neurotherapist, I saw a notable trend. I didn't know what I was seeing at first, but the electrical activity we call brainwaves, which travel through the brain by oscillating synchronistically like waves on the sea, were traveling too slow. And the statistics on ADD and depression and anxiety were rising, and there was a direct correlation being observed in the research. A research team at Columbia University suggests that these traveling waves organize and regulate our ability to learn and process information, and they become more organized and effective depending on how well the brain is performing. The speed of our brain waves is relevant to learning, behavior, memory, perception, attention, and even consciousness. So what supports healthy, optimal neuronal brain function? Well, that's what I asked myself. I asked myself that question 20 years ago. What does the brain need to function well? And very little had been written for the general public to understand the relationship between food, nutrition, and the brain in those days. And I was really just beginning to understand it myself. So I had my eyes open to the power of nutrition on the brain by a 15-year-old female client. She had struggled over the past year with anxiety and depression and school phobia, and she was terrified of going to school, so she just refused. And she had been prescribed numerous prescriptions, and the neurofeedback I was using wasn't addressing her issues. At that time in our town of Grand Rapids, Michigan, there was only one MD physician who had a good reputation for utilizing nutritional supplementation that I was aware of. And I made a referral. And she was diagnosed with a magnesium deficiency, a zinc deficiency, a folate deficiency, vitamin D deficiencies. And I had no idea how critical these nutrients were to the brain. I learned that folate, a deficiency in folate, which we find in our green leafy vegetables, relates to all kinds of things, from fetal development issues to depression and anxiety and learning issues. And I learned that magnesium is a cofactor more than 300 systems rely on to regulate all these biochemical reactions in our body that include muscle and nerve function and blood glucose control, blood pressure, overall energy, bowel movement, sleep, and it keeps the immune system strong. But I also learned that 75% of the U.S. population does not meet the minimum requirement for magnesium. So I thought to myself, hey, nutrition really matters. How come no one is talking about this? And I went on to become a nutritional consultant and incorporated this into my practice, and I would never look back. I can't imagine how I ever thought I could help people be their best optimal self without a knowledge in nutrition. Once my client nutritional status improved, this 15-year-old's nutritional status improved, her mood improved. She gained confidence. She noticed increased ability to focus and concentrate and remember, and her social anxiety diminished, and she was able to be coaxed to return to school. And she successfully terminated treatment with me. Unfortunately, the following school year, she returned and was struggling with many of her original concerns. When asked, she told me that she had stopped taking the supplements because her parents couldn't afford them. In fact, all the supplements together were over $100. Once I convinced her and her parents as to the significance of adequate minerals and vitamins on the brain, I watched her personality come back into focus. Nutritional excellence isn't an option. It is paramount to optimal health. And again, she just within probably, I would say, it might have been a month and a half, she was good again. It was just like, and my eyes opened up and I went, you got to be kidding. This is really powerful stuff. So I realized that we can't make healthy lifestyle choices without a healthy brain. We lack the energy. If we lack the energy and focus, we're not going to make good lifestyle choices. And we can't maintain a positive mood or a happy outlook if we don't have an active, healthy brain. But sadly, 1 in 10 children over the age of 12 take antidepressants. And there's been a 60% increase since 2010 of adults taking antidepressants. But there's good news. One of my heroes, Dr. Daniel Amen, MD, he's one of the most respected psychiatrists worldwide and the author of more than 30 books, including Change Your Brain, Change Your Life, wrote a book this year called The End of Mental Illness. He challenges an outdated psychiatric paradigm and helps readers improve the health of their own brain, minimizing or reversing conditions that may prevent them from living life full and emotionally healthy. He says it's not mental illness, it's brain illness, and it's treatable and preventable with nutrition and lifestyle changes. So despite great scientific efforts to find treatments for brain illnesses like Alzheimer's, there are only 5 medications on the market, and none are very beneficial. Alzheimer's is the 6th leading cause of death, and it is serious. It is a serious brain illness. They say that 1 in 10 of those 65 or older, and I just turned 66 this year, are already showing the damage associated with Alzheimer's. And my mother died with it, and so I know I need to be extra precautious. We need to help our parents anti-age their brains, because brain illnesses are just slow poison. It's very, very sad. And if we share the power of plants with them, then we have the ability to perhaps help them anti-age, which is such a blessing. It's also another reason we also want to help them anti-age is because many of those of us on this call are part of the sandwich generation, caring for both our parents and a child or grandchild. And it's been shown that 1 in 6 caregivers has to quit their job entirely to care for their family members. So this is just another reason to share about, our Plan B that offers a Plan A option as a home-based nutrition business, because you never know when you might need that income. But there is good news. Researcher Dr. Bredesen wrote Reversal of Cognitive Decline with 100 patients, published in the Journal of Alzheimer's Disease and Prevention, and he demonstrated a proven lifestyle approach effective in reversing the cognitive decline, which is seen in Alzheimer's and dementia. He addressed key brain insults, which are related to brain decline: pathogens, bugs, viruses, parasites, inflammation, toxins, hormone imbalances in both men and women, and nutrient deficiencies. His team was able to create positive outcomes. He first identified which patients had which deficiencies, created a personalized treatment plan. He treated the bugs, repaired leaky gut, and stabilized gut bacteria. He helped plan patients detox. He stabilized good hormone balances and reduced insulin glucose imbalances, which reduced inflammation. And they say that basically all of us die with some inflammatory-related disease or disorder. After treating patients, they were able to remember names, spell, shop, cook, and work on the computer, which they had struggled with before. Every product that our wonderful company has developed helps nourish every cell in our brain and body. In fact, we cannot repair, prevent, or anti-age ourselves without the nutrition found in the Juice Plus product line. Plants form the essence of life. They are foundational to us humans. Every cell we are composed of, and we have trillions, is made up of protein and fat. These are our building blocks. And that's why we need to consume our plant protein smoothie powder, because that's the core 22 amino acids that we need every day to keep our bones and our muscles and our cells and our brain healthy. And we need to blend that with our omega blend that supplies good fats that are essential for proper brain function. They found that diets low in omega-3 and omega-6 are connected to learning problems, motivation struggles, probably due to the fact that these fats are needed to produce basic core brain chemicals like serotonin and dopamine, which are critical to decision-making and problem-solving, mood, and emotion. So proteins and fats are inadequate without the 16 essential minerals and 13 vitamins, which our bodies can't manufacture for themselves. And so we must get these from our diet. And you might ask, well, why not take a man-made synthetic mineral and vitamin from the store? And the answer is actually pretty simple, because they're deficient of the approximately 20,000 plant chemicals or phytonutrients that are needed to tell the minerals and vitamins where to go and what to do when they get there. You know, there's no proof that man-made supplements protect us like plants do. So why waste your money? You know, I pride myself when I can accomplish something that the psychiatrist can't. I had a fellow referred to me who is a 52-year-old male. He has been hospitalized in the psychiatric hospital for 42 days. In this time and age, that just doesn't happen. If you get 3 days in a hospital before they discharge you, you know, that's a long stay these days, maybe a week. 43 days meant that he just was non-functional. He had bipolar disorder. He was in a manic state. They could not get him stabilized. When he got out of the hospital, he was on 3 different very strong mood-stabilizing medicines. And when he came to see me, he slept through the entire intake interview while his wife gave me the information. So he came in for neurofeedback, and as I got to know him, I just thought to myself, there is no way that prescription medication or, you know, neurofeedback brain training was going to make efficient enough changes for this man. And so I asked the psychiatrist to get testing done, just like I had with that, you know, just like it happened with that 15-year-old 20-some years ago, 25 years ago now. And, you know, so they had folate tested and magnesium and zinc and vitamin D, and he was deficient in all of those. And so we started supplementing, and he got on Juice Plus, and he started adding extra nutrients on top of the Juice Plus, because Juice Plus is foundational. It is baseline. When you have mega deficiencies, then you may need to find some other additional nutritional supplements to add to that. And that's what we did. And so we found out he had the folate mutation, so he wasn't able to benefit from the medications he was on very efficiently. Little by little, he started to notice his brain returning to good function. He had what I would call an unstable brain, which is what we know when you don't have enough omega-3 and you don't have enough protein, you just can't send a stable brainwave. And so bipolar disorder is about brains going too fast and then going too slow, and then going too fast for long periods of time and then going too slow into depression for long periods of time. And so this poor fellow had gotten himself into a position where his brain was so unstable, he just was non-functional. He went on to, by the time I'd met him, he was on Social Security disability and had not been working for, I think, 2.5 years. Little by little, he came back to life, and I saw his brain recover and he recovered. And I have to say, it's pretty exciting to say that this tax season, he went through the entire tax season. He's back at work. He has a job. He has his own office. He's working, for an accounting firm. And when I've talked to him and I see him less and less, I haven't seen him in a while now, he's doing amazingly well. And he's doing he's doing better than I would have ever expected he could even do. So I just think how sad that only a handful of medical professions look at nutrition as a viable way to help their patients. But the good news is we don't need to rely on those professionals to inspire and educate and supply us with nutritional knowledge and products. All we need to do is to reach out to reach out and thank the person who invited us to this call. So thank you, my dear friend Susan Wittenbach, for continuing to share with me. Even early on when I told you that as a type 1 diabetic, I took plenty good care of myself and did not need Juice Plus. And thank you again when you celebrated with me when I told you that by adding Juice Plus and making one simple change to my lifestyle, it afforded me the opportunity to hear my diabetic doctor say that he only had 2 patients in his entire practice with blood labs as good as mine, and we both took Juice Plus. I knew then that despite being diagnosed insulin-dependent diabetic at age 28, at the same age my father had, he was 28, I wasn't going to die at age 54 of complications like he had. And now at age 66 and 36 years into being a diabetic, I still have no complications, and I just can't be more appreciative. So thank you, Susan, and thank you, Cheryl, for getting, gifting us with this fabulous wellness education series and keeping us informed. And truthfully, most everything I know about plants I have learned since that one simple change of opening myself up to our Juice Plus family of products. So thank you so much, and I feel so blessed, and I just feel like I couldn't do anything better than to share this news with people who care to know.
Well, and thank you so much. I always love hearing you talk about anything to do with health, brain health, all of the areas. I mean, there's just so much knowledge in you, Rosalyn. And I also feel very blessed that this is something that I, like so many others, came across pretty much by accident. And that I've been, on Juice Plus for so many years, and my children and my family and my grandchildren, and what a huge difference it makes, and that it really is a protection. And I wouldn't have the knowledge that I have about how to eat or how to care for myself or how to take care of those around me that I love from a nutritional standpoint if it hadn't been all the good information that comes through this channel, you might say, of Juice Plus and what we learn along the way and how much we have to offer to other people. I think it's not only exciting for us from a nutritional standpoint, but it's very exciting to make that difference for other people as well. And that it is really great protection, for everything right now. I think everybody is certainly, we're awake to the fact that we can make a difference with our own bodies from a nutritional standpoint and keep ourselves in a healthy state and have the best protection possible. So anything else you'd like to share with us tonight? We really appreciate all of your knowledge.
Well, I think that it's the one thing that just stands out to me is that it's we just have to go back to our roots. We just have to go back to plants, and that if we can continue to look for opportunities to be more self-sustaining and more educated and more willing to find manageable routes. I think that's why people love the delivery to the door service of our Juice Plus product, the simplicity of capsules and chewables, the Tower Garden. I think what they say that the sales of Tower Gardens went up 700% in March when COVID quarantines first started, because people came to realize that they wanted ownership over their food and they wanted to know what they were feeding their family was safe and healthy. And we get that with all of our Juice Plus products. And I think that's one of the the blessings that we know as well, is that we are guaranteed these are safe and healthy for us. And wow, how cool and affordable. How cool is that?
And convenient, but again, it is Juice Plus is whole food. It's just food. It's not there. It's not anything else there. We, of course, as a company, for now almost 28 years, we have been sharing Juice Plus with people, and of course, it's fruits and vegetables, or berries and omegas, or that's not new. It's been around forever, but in this form, as you said, convenient, very affordable, and very simple. But I think we're very blessed. I think people are very awake to the fact that food is what makes a difference, and that we can really make that difference for ourselves and for others. That, as you use the word foundational, it is very foundational to everything else. That the body knows what to do if it has the right stuff to work with. And I think that's really what I'm hearing from you tonight. If we can get the right stuff in, everything's fine.
Yep. Yeah. Now we need the right stuff, and then the body knows what it needs to do. And if there's deficiencies, that ride on top of that foundational support, it's much easier to address those deficiencies one by one than it is to try to just figure out where do you go. Because if you're deficient in plant nutrition, you're deficient in all those minerals, all those vitamins, all of those supporting plant nutrients, and the synergy of all of that. Where do you even begin to try to restore somebody's health and well-being if you were trying to address each and every one of those in an isolated way? I just don't think you can.
Well, and
so it almost has to be done with the power of the synergistic effect of, these, 20, 30, 40 plants that we consume through the Juice Plus product line that give us that foundation, and not in an isolated way, but in a wonderful synergistic, easy to consume product.
Well, and so well-defined, the difference between whole food and fragmented foods, which are supplements, I guess that would be the way to describe those, is that you just get it all. And, over this almost 30 years with Juice Plus products being shared with people, what I keep seeing over and over, and I certainly don't have the expertise that you do. I'm one of those lay people out there, like everybody else, just trying to keep my health and my family's health at the best level, and do the best that we can for ourselves as far as taking care of our bodies. But what I've seen over 30 years is that whatever the body needs, Juice Plus seems to help it handle much, much more efficiently, that the body does know what to do if it gets the right food and the right input. And that's, I think, our greatest blessing, but our greatest thing that we have to share with other people is that we can really help them help themselves with this good food, whole food product. And so I feel blessed that I have it. I know you do too, and I know
Yes.
It's done great things for your health as well. And,
yes, it is.
And I think that's wonderful. I mean, so often we see people, like yourself, you're one of the most dedicated people I've ever met as far as really making a difference for others out there in the world. I look at all the things you've done and all the things you're involved in, and it's total commitment to the health and well-being of humanity. And I really believe that as a company, those are the type of people that we also attract, is people who really want to make that difference, and you're a great example of that.
Thank you so much, Cheryl. It means a lot to me.
I appreciate that. Then I appreciate you sharing, with us on this call, and hopefully everybody on the line realizing the power of what you have to offer other people. And definitely from a product standpoint, we're way and above anything I think anyone could find for themselves from a foundational standpoint and protection standpoint, but also being able to reach out to people and offer them the ability to share it with others, giving them that supplemental additional income that can mean so much to people, as everyone, as you said earlier, looks for and hopes to have that plan B, that they always have a fallback plan. And that's one of the things I've appreciated as well. So I did go. It was Mom. Here. Okay.
And we do just as we do life.
In here. This is what's called.
And we do
do
life.
When you're 9 years old. Okay. So,
yeah.
Anyway, but Rosalyn, thank you so much, and to everyone on the line, it's a pleasure to have you with us. We will be meeting often, of course, every Monday night, and you might get with upline. We do a Thursday night call as well, which is training. Basic training, and then we'll have an event next Tuesday, which is called Take Action Tuesday, which will be kind of like a home edition, you might say, of really comprehensive training, both from the medical side. We'll hear from our doctors, and then we'll also hear from people who are going to share business tips and training guides. So thank you, Rosalyn, so much for being on our call. And for everybody on the call, we'll see you somewhere or hear you somewhere along the way, and this week and the next, and the ones to follow. Okay? Thank you. Good night,
Thank you,
everyone.
Cheryl. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight.